Hey everybody, Mr. Quick here. Today we're going to be talking about Eureka Math / Engage New York Math, Module 3, Lesson 12, the relationship between absolute value and order. In our last lesson, we talked about absolute value. Absolute value is how far away from zero a number is. So if you have -4, and when I say find the absolute value, which is represented this way, of -4, that is 4 away from zero. It's 4 away on a number line, right? If I said positive 3.5 and find the absolute value of positive 3.5, well, that is 3.5 away from zero. So the absolute value of 3.5 is 3.5. Negative 3.5, I said find the absolute value of negative 3.5, it's also 3.5 away from zero. So the positive 3.5 and the negative 3.5 both have the same absolute value. When we talk about order, we're talking about simply putting things in order from least to greatest or greatest to least. Let's do a little exercise to discuss the relationship between absolute value and order. I've got some numbers here, and they're kind of scrambled up, they're mixed up, and I'd like to put them in order from least to greatest. So what I'm going to do first thing is I'm going to see one thing that I notice as I'm looking at these numbers, that some of the numbers that I've just circled are negative numbers. The other numbers, which I'll circle in blue, are positive numbers, and we have 0, which is neither positive or negative. I'm going to put them in order from least to greatest. One rule that we need to know is that negative numbers are always less than positive numbers. Always. So when I say the least, I know I'm going to be looking at my negative numbers, the ones I circled in red. And I know since I'm putting them in order, and they are going backwards on the number line, they will be in reverse order. So I'm going to start with -12, cross that out. Next, it looks like I've got -9, cross that out. Next, we've got, looks like -5, so we can cross that out. -2 and -1, and cross those out. Next, I have kind of our neutral number, right? Not positive, not negative. I'll put 0 there. And then we have, as now we're going into positive numbers, so then they go the other direction, right? So we have 2, 5, 7, and 8, which I'll put down here. So 2, 5, 7, and 8. So it looks like we have all of our numbers accounted for in least to greatest order. And so I want to use these this list of numbers here to illustrate a couple of points. First of all, as I already said, negative numbers are always less than positive numbers. I shouldn't include that 0 there. Positive numbers, right? Negative numbers are also always less than 0. So if you're putting things in order from least to greatest, you know that your negative numbers will be to the left of your positive numbers and your 0 on the number line. Another thing, let's look at the let's do something here. So here I have my negative numbers in order. I'm going to write these positive numbers up here just to have a little bit more room. So we have 2, 5, 7, and 8. So I'm going to erase those down here, but we just know that they're up top there. Above these numbers, I'm going to write their absolute value. So absolute value of 2 is 2, 5 is 5, it's a funky looking 5 there, there we go, 7 is 7, 8 is 8. Absolute value now of the negative numbers, if we want to find the absolute value of these, we're going to have -1 is 1, -2 is 2, -5 is, is 5, -9 is 9, and -12 is 12, because that's how far they are away from the number line. So one thing you need to understand here is that the order of positive numbers is the same as their absolute value. So if I said put these in order from least to greatest, these are already positive, 2, 5, 7, 8. When you look at their absolute value, it's the same order, 2, 5, 7, 8. The order of negative numbers is the opposite order of their absolute value, because if I asked you to put these from least to greatest, these are in order from least to greatest. These are not. We would actually have to reverse those. So if we put the negative numbers in order from least to greatest of their absolute value, then we would actually have 1, 2, 5, 9, and 12, which is the opposite of this. So a couple of rules here that we need to know. 1, the order of positive numbers is the same as the order of their absolute values. The order of negative numbers is the opposite of the order of their absolute values. And then finally, again, like we mentioned, negative numbers are always less than positive numbers. Okay, fairly quick lesson today. We'll do some application of these concepts in class, and we'll talk about some more examples together. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.